Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Emmett, for the invitation to the conference. So Aura is bringing innovation to ocular oncology, which is a group of rare diseases that have no drugs approved. Our lead indication is choroidal melanoma, which is a vision and life-threatening disease, and we have the opportunity to transform the treatment paradigm for these patients. So our drug is in late-stage clinical development, and we have a very attractive commercial opportunity with the goal to be the first to market. Of course, we're building a pipeline, and you'll see some of the deals that we've done this year with suprachoroidal delivery as well. So if you have choroidal melanoma, there are no drugs approved, and the only standard of care is radiation. Unfortunately, radiation often results in irreversible visual impairment due to the radiation retinopathy and has high comorbidities. However, 80% of these patients are diagnosed so early without clinically evident metastatic disease, and there are no drugs approved. So there is a high unmet medical need for a vision-preserving first-line therapy that would offer good local tumor control, preservation of vision, the possibility to treat early, and the potential to be the first FDA-approved therapy for the primary treatment of choroidal melanoma. So our technology was discovered at the NCI, is a very novel tumor-targeted approach, and our drug in the clinic is AU011, is a viral-like particle conjugate, a new class of drugs. It's based on the viral-like particle of a virus, and it's conjugated to a novel light-activated molecule. The mechanism of action is acute cellular necrosis once there is binding of the viral particle and light activation, but also very exciting results on the pro-immunogenic anti-tumor response that we have as a secondary mechanism of action. So we have value drivers in multiple ophthalmology and oncology indications. Of course, we're very focused in ocular oncology with our lead development in choroidal melanoma. We're planning to start our first registration study next year. And as I said, we have signed a license agreement with Clearside to initiate the approach of using the suprachoroidal microinjectors. And we plan to start our phase 1 study using this delivery mechanism next year. As we want to pioneer the field of ocular oncology, we have 2 additional indications that we're working on: choroidal metastases and cancers of the ocular surface. All of those can be treated much better with our novel technology. So our current study for choroidal melanoma using intravitreal administration has been going really well. We've done all the dose escalations. We've completed the first expansion cohort with 1 cycle of treatment, and now we're finalizing enrollment with the intended phase 3 clinical dose of 2 cycles. The phase 1b/2 results continue to be very supportive of our phase 3 registration plan. We've been able to show that multiple doses continue to be very well tolerated with adverse events that are managed with the standard of care treatments, usually steroids and topical hypertensives. We've demonstrated vision preservation. Now we have patients up to 2 years with excellent results. And also, we have statistically significant results in those subjects who have prior documented growth, and these data will be presented broadly at the Academy this year, also at the ocular oncology and pathology meetings by some of our key opinion leaders. So one of the key things for this year was for us to agree with the FDA on what would be the design of the phase 3 study that would get us to approval. Of course, we're innovating and we're creating precedent, so there was no phase 3 that had ever been run in choroidal melanoma. So now we're excited. This is going to be our phase 3 study, 60-patient study, randomized masked and control, evaluating 2 intervention groups against a sham control arm with an endpoint at 12 months and the end of the study for safety at 24 months. And we will be evaluating both tumor control and vision preservation. There are approximately 80,000 patients, mainly in the US and Europe, that are diagnosed every year with indeterminate lesions that are at high risk and small choroidal melanomas, and there's yet no drug for them. So there's a beautiful opportunity with a very focused call point of 50 ocular oncologists in the US and 50 in Europe, and a clear regulatory path. So we want to pioneer and be the first to market drug in ocular oncology. So as I was looking at last year and the progress that our company has done this year, it's very exciting. On one hand, of course, in the clinic, we've been able to dose, as a rare disease, 46 patients with choroidal melanoma. We've had agreement with the FDA on what will it take to approve the drug, initiated the second expansion cohort with the intended phase 3 clinical dosing, and of course, we've closed our Series D to support the late-stage clinical development of the company. Also, we're building on the pipeline and the life cycle management for our drug, and that's why we signed the licensing agreement with suprachoroidal, and we have some exciting progress on that end with a clinical study being started next year. So we will have multiple presentations at the Academy. We welcome you all to come join us. We will have Abdish Babsar, who will be presenting the update of the clinical trial. Dr. Jay Duker in the Innovation Symposium will be talking about the progress of the platform and the phase 3 design. And then finally, Dr. Amy Scheffler, who will be talking about the plans for suprachoroidal delivery in the back of the eye. And finally, thank you so much for our great investors. Our latest round was led by Medici, and we're very thankful for the support all these years. Thank you all.